Welcome everyone, it's Evelyn. I hope you guys are all doing well. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you today. Very cool messages. This is the main read here. So if you want to follow along, you can take a snapshot of that. I usually do say all the main cards for the read as I go. This is the complete read in front of you. Okay. And I did a reading for myself that I may give you some of the messages from that as well, because it's never just for me, even if I do it for myself. So there's definitely stuff for you guys. So starting out this read, I had watched last night too, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which is funny. I haven't seen that in a long time. So that's one of the messages coming up. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I cut the SIRIAN Starseed deck for this read. Was done last night and today. So I started it at, I cut the deck at 12:35 to 37 last night, so at midnight, after midnight. And that's the 12 of the Hangman. The 35 is the Wounded Warrior, the 9 of Wands. And then at 10:40, 40 being the Page of Cups, I was taking candy from a baby with the pink and green cards. It was very much like candy. And then at 12:44, which is the Hangman and the Four of Cups, the grounding, integrating, and mastering of love, I was getting the height of flames or drama, as well as aims. And that can be Amy's as well. At 12:54, that's the Hangman and the Page of Swords. I was getting a very sticky situation. The cards were very sticky. And I finished clarifying at 12:58, which is the Hangman and the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords is all about that 5D connection, in meditation especially, or in your dream state, or waking sleep. So the major arcana for this read, with the Lovers right in the middle as the center card, the Strength card, the Star, and then before the read, because I always pull a few cards on either end of the read, was the Starseed. And after the read, the Alchemy or Temperance card came up. Starseed is like the Fool. The court cards were the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, so that can be children or actions. They could be messages and movement, as well as co-workers or people in your family. And before the read, we also had the Page of Pentacles. So 2 pages and a knight, so very young energy there, or a lot of messages going on. And the code line and the numbers were all about abundance, environment, a green environment, and financial discipline. And the numbers were 44, 88, 99, and 1010 for the double numbers. So a lot of double numbers. 44 again is that Four of Cups. Grounding and integrating and mastering of love, especially receiving love. 88 of the 2 Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine side by side, each integrated and balanced within their masculine and feminine and doing the dance. 99 of that, very high level compassion. Has to do with endings and universal love. And then the 1010 of that very high vibration. The code line was all about the number 7 in many different ways, and it was about the 7 falling over on its face as well, right? The Chariot breaking down. And I'm also seeing right now the high heel as well. The high heel, and that can reference, someone who's a heel. So the code line about an abundance, environment, the green environment, financial discipline. The code line was about the sea, the seeing with your eyes, the seeing with your emotions, the ocean, and the sea of the unity or Christ consciousness. It doesn't have to be Christ, but, it doesn't have to have a religious connotation, in other words. And then the 7, which is the Chariot. It's also the Divine Feminine within the masculine. The show of power and toggling up to see the key of the 7, the show of the power up again, and the Knight of Wands being our abundance, our environment, our financial discipline. And the Knight of Wands is all about getting passionately busy and moving, perhaps walking out or working out or running errands, or getting passionate about something you want to start, or it's a sexual connotation, of course. So it wasn't just coming up as that, though. It was coming up as the sea, the feminine within the masculine, the Chariot of the 7, or the sea horse, the sea chariot, or a motorboat, the emotions of the Divine Feminine within the Divine Masculine, filling him up, his senses, and the show of power upward in 9-inch nails of Jesus on the cross, because the twins are the Jesus and Mary Magdalene template, and seeing the key of the 7, the chariot, the ascension vehicle, the show of power up, to power up, the Knight of Wands, our abundance, our green environment, our financial discipline. So the sea chariot, there is something called a sea chariot, and this could be a ship or a boat or the divine masculine within the feminine, holding their breath, holding back crying, silenced, to be, to have, sun up, 2 up, see the key of the 7, now up. So you get the point about up. And coconut, grandma was coming up, I am that I am, we, us, the tree, the family tree, ourselves, not even. We are not equal, right? We're always a little bit different. We're each individuals. The knight, as in the Knights of the Round Table, the night of the night and day, and the good of the flames, the drama, the fire, the chutzpah, the get up and go, our abundance, our abundance, and that can be shaking your bun, or the fact that your organs are natural transmuters of what goes through your body. The dance of the green environment, and then the virus comes up there as well. And to just keep yourself green, when you keep your immune system healthy, your body naturally can fight off all of these germs. So financial discipline comes up here. And the sea chariot, which from sea-chariot.com is an underwater vehicle suitable for commercial or military tasks to the maximum depth of 30 meters, also used for recreational purposes. Now I'm seeing in the code line the chariot falling down on its face. So there could definitely be a breakdown, whether it's in communication, in a vehicle, in a relationship. I always talk about the chariot being the breakdown, the break up, the breakthrough, the break in, all of those breaks. And then I got from a couple different sites I was getting information from. One is Apologia, so like apology, but IA instead of Y. And then the number 1, .wordpress.com. And also from Snopes.com, SNOPES.com, and discoveryworld.us. So what came up there was 5/4/2020 that gilded and coral encrusted Egyptian chariot wheels were found in the Gulf of Aqaba at Nuweiba, at the Sinai Peninsula. And I couldn't pin down a date, and this could be a hoax from what I understand, from what I read. In 1978, and then again, October 24th, 14, there were multiple articles about this. Many coral-encrusted chariot wheels and a gilded 4-spoked chariot wheel found. Fossilized human and horse bones also recovered, but carbon dating not possible. The mouth of the 2 rivers at the point of the sea at the site of Exodus. So, of course, the story wasn't proven, right? And nor was the information put up for being proofed. So, but what I was getting here was to see the number 79 as well, to see the key in 79 twice, the Knight of Wands, out in abundance, environment, using financial discipline. So being discerning when you go out. But 79 for me is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's also the year I graduated. But 79 both came up in this header, which is so important. And it was so cool because when I did the read for myself yesterday, the code line came up with 9/18, which was the day yesterday, my birthday, 9/18. So there's always a reason for these numbers. And so I looked up 79 to see what would come up. And by the way, 30 meters under is 98.4251969 feet. And so 79, what came up was 79 AD, a 1962 historical epic film. Eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 1979, a catastrophic volcanic eruption in Italy. And then so that was from enwikipedia.org. And then when I looked up the gematria, the number 1 answer was Daniel for 79, just 179. And that went to effect, but the number 2 was Godhead 79, and through Godhead, I was getting the ray, or ray, and then through ray was our decoder. Okay, so Godhead, this is all from 79, Godhead to ray to 44, they were both 44, under 44, our decoder. So the Godhead and the ray are our decoder. What else came up under 79 was 279.club, which came up as a TAI game, or TAI-OTP and TAI game. There are 2 entries into that, so I don't know much about games, so that was that. 79's Wikipedia, so from StarWarsFandom.com. 79 is the Cantina on Coruscant, the capital of the World Galactic Republic. During the Clone Wars, 79s catered to the clone troopers, blowing off steam when they were off duty. It was considered a clone bar, however, non-clones also frequented it. Also, Airport 79 came up, as well as Firefox 79.0 as of July 28, 2020. And then E79 came up as the pill Zolpidem tartrate, 10 milligrams, which is for insomnia. And then Psalms 79 also came up. So I put in 7979, and Strong's Hebrew came up first thing online from BibleHub.com. And 79 came up as Shulchan, which means a table. So remember, a table is important here. And then also 7979 came up as the gene result, the gene ID 7979. August 22, 2020, there was an update, which is just a couple weeks ago. It was localized within the split hand and split foot malformation locus SHFM1 at chromosome number 7. Sorry, so 79 came up under chromosome number 7 as a malformation. So again, Gematria 7979, so I looked up that. And the first thing that came up was, I love my little man, I love my little man, and yes, he is a cat, but oh, how I love my sweetest little man. And the number 2 thing that came up was 0, 1, 2, all through 14. And when I looked up what came next after 0, 1, 2 through 14, came up Melchizedek, Pope Peter, Plegos, Pokemon, Transportation, Mecca, Flash, International, GTA, capital I, lowercase I, Popes. That's what came up under 0 through 14. But the number 1 that came up, I love my little man one, under that was there were witnesses. It happened at Camp Aquila, A-K-E-L-A, in Ohio in October of 1994. I am Brian, with a Y, B-R-Y-A-N, Kowiak, K-O-W-I-A-K. So again, that was the first thing that came up under I love my little man. There were witnesses. It happened at Camp Aquila, or Aquila, in Ohio in October of 94. I am Brian Kowiak, or Kowiak. The second thing that came up under that was, I never did anything to hurt you. I stayed loyal and still love you. Your sources are lying. So pretty cool that that message came up. So I started this read last night before I went to bed, and I was too tired, so I stopped it and I restarted this morning. But I'm going to read you what I wrote last night, and I'm going to read you again the page from this morning. It was just this one page. So we started at 237 last night, and the 7 of Cups reversed is the underlying energy. Beneath that was the Page of Cups reversed, the 10 of Swords upright, the Starseed card upright, and the Ace of Cups reversed. So dumping emotional attachments, perhaps after needing help, betrayal, a message, or a massage, free to leap and purge and dump all your emotional attachments. The High Priestess in a split, or a happy family with the Knight of Pentacles offering help. To the 3 of Pentacles reversed, which can be the workplace with issues, and the number 27 came up, which is that new passion. But with the read in front of you, all the aces were reversed except the Ace of Pentacles, which can be all-encompassing, so that's kind of interesting. The Knight of Pentacles is over the High Priestess, or nursemaid. The Three of Pentacles, business or place of creation, co-creation, doesn't have to be work necessarily. It could be school, it could be an art center, that kind of thing, anything. But the Three of Pentacles reversed over the split, the lies, the BS, removing the sword from the stone, frozen in time, with the King of Wands, High Priestess, secret or intuition, and marriage, Taurus, establishment and religion, and the Knight of Swords reversed, with the Knight of Wands reversed, player, and perhaps screwing up or messing up in the fall. The Two of Pentacles reversed, destined, falling short or holding back desires, or falling short to break patterns that are destined. Dumping emotional attachments, destined. The prisoner out of the dark, night, and need of help from Emperor. The Emperor twisting the knife, never learning their lesson, and into that good night, to the grave we taketh. So it sounds like someone, saying, this will never come out. You will take it to your grave. You deserve love comes up, and beneath that was unrequited love. The Queen of Swords reversed, Justice or Libra, no longer obsessed or powerless to impatient fallen angel with an attitude, stealing their energy, or energy vampire, triggering in order to get you mad and distract you to get away with the goods or your energy. Red hands or redheads galore, or child sleeping around, or divine masculine putting the truth aside to do or get whatever he wants, or is the front man to another making off with the goods and perhaps not of his own volition. Peaches and big feet, or female Bigfoot, or toes wearing her material or material girl. Imported chiffon, or distracted making out in the green room on a shoot, or too obsessed both fallen angels, while others on set playing the role, or worried about girls being taken advantage of. Aries upright, Pisces upright, Taurus upright, and Libra upright. Compassion comes up as 99, and spiritual partnership came up as well underneath that as 27 again, the Ace of Wands, which was reversed in this read. That, great frustration or inability to conceive or conceptualize, or just, feeling blocked and not aroused by the situation. The mother in lack, losing their marbles, or coming out of isolation in need of sunshine, the Queen of Swords, unable to escape the King of Swords' prayers, down on their knees, chained to a royal lineage, a tool, and chained to the table, of shooting stars, or foosball, or sun sign. Sun signs, maybe they're looking at astrology, or throwing stars. And then Band on the Run came up. If I ever get out of here, going to give it all away to a registered charity. All I need is a pint a day. Taurus reversed, Leo reversed, Capricorn upright, and Virgo reversed here. Praying, grieving, dumping multiple loads and emotional attachments, destined Emperor, energy vampires, and compassion for dumping or dumping on the Queen of Swords reversed, overwhelmed and or purging at 303. And that could be 2 Empresses, or it can be 30 and 3, which is the 4 of Wands, and Empress reversed, which may be, an older person at home, or a wife who's in lack. So it could be a mother, mother-in-law, a grandparent, or a partner. And it could be a miscarriage as well when she's reversed. So when I woke up this morning, I literally woke up to Gestalt. So that put me on a whole thing of, researching Gestalt and all the meanings and that kind of thing, and seeing what the message was. I was actually seeing Pi and something else, which I can't remember, and just remembering waking up and saying not Phi, but it totally led me to Phi, but it was really about reading between the lines, right? And Gestalt means the unified whole. It's not quite form and shape, but that's similar. But in German, it means unified whole, or seeking order in disorder. So the Gestalt principles came up, and the laws of, at 10:10, the Gestalt principles, and I was still in bed here at 10:19, because I went to bed really late last night. I was out with my son yesterday all day. We went to the beach to hang out for a bit. The laws of figure and ground, the pragnance, the closure and common fate, the Gestalt principles, or 3 of them anyway, by Mads Søgaard, Soegaard, 4 days ago, 14 minutes read, and then 800 880 shares. So it's coming up 4, 14, and 88, or 880. And then at 1032, so 10 and 19 is the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun. 1032 is the Wheel of Fortune and the Journeyman. So the Phi Phenomenon comes up here with Gestalt. So that's what they were trying to show me when they woke me up this morning. So the Phi Phenomenon, used in a narrow sense for apparent motion observed if two nearby optical stimuli, and this is from en.m.wikipedia.org, if two nearby optical stimuli are presented alternately with relatively high frequency, in contrast to beta movement, which is like, movies and animation. So, if you speed up the still shots, they're going to look like they're moving. But if you go to a higher vibration, then you see alternating frequencies. The stimuli do not appear to move. Instead, a diffuse, amorphous, shadow-like something seems to jump in front of the stimuli and occlude them temporarily. The shadow seems to have a nearly color of, or it's very near to the color of the background of the picture. So Max Wertheimer was first described in Habilitation Thesis, publication of 1912, marking the birth of Gestalt psychology. And two of his subjects would go on then to be his two partners in this theory, Kurt Kafka and Wolfgang Kohler, which was very interesting because this week, very much so, the wolf came up, the gang came up in different ways. And then yesterday, literally, when we were talking about Coors ice cream to my son, I said Cole's ice cream instead. So Wolfgang was definitely coming up here for a reason. So the object-less movement he called Pure-Phi. Other people might have asserted that he reserved the Greek letter of Phi for pure object-less movement as opposed to the pure movement. But anyway, there was different examples of like two black bars when they're flickering, and it has to be a certain frequency or a certain speed where it goes to this place. But you can look this up online. So beta would be 10 to 12 images per second, and that's like animation. The motion is not rapid change with appearance of motion. So the beta is like showing you the movement, but not showing you something that looks like it keeps disappearing, okay, because it's not fast enough. So that's the difference between the beta movement and the Phi phenomenon, okay? So the eye responds to 10 cycles per second, and so the beta is double that, and that's why things appear to move, just like we used to flip through a book to make cartoons. So then I got out of bed, and I was pulling my sheets up, and there was a black bobby pin attached to my sheet. Now, number one, I don't use bobby pins ever. My daughter does, but she hasn't lived here in years. And I'm like, I've made my bed how many times since I washed my sheets, and I didn't notice this bobby pin. It was literally on my sheet, and it was black. It's not like you could miss it. I'm like, how did I not see this? So it was the weirdest thing. And I thought about it and figured it must have been maybe last time my daughter visited. I think she slept with me one night, and maybe she took a bobby pin out of her hair and put it on the sheet for safekeeping, and maybe I flipped the sheets over this time when I made my bed. I don't know. But it was so weird that I hadn't noticed that bobby pin there. So, and it was very much coming up as this explanation of the Phi phenomenon, because it's about contrast with black on white and the different laws that they bring up, black on white, and then here's my sheets with a bobby pin on white. So at 11:33, I went back to him, and Magni-Phi, it's Magni-Phi, discs in a circle in rapid sequence, one disc hidden in clockwise or counterclockwise order. In rapid sequence, easier to observe that shadow-like movement that he had discovered. And the parameters here have to do with timing, size, intensity, the number of discs you use in alternating the images, and viewing distance as well, which I'm sure would then lead to us being able to understand about the planets at a distance, and and how big they are based on the distance and viewing and intensity and number and size and all that kind of stuff. So, and even more reliably, even with two elements, if negative interstimulus or ISI is used, whereas periods where two elements are visible but overlap slightly disappear and reappear, as opposed to the beta motion, which just looks like fluid movement. So in the first absolute deviation or gap on each side, it must not exceed 150 ms, and second, the duration of the gap must not exceed 40% of the stimulus period, which of course was reminding me of the financial stimuluses coming up. But also in learning energy medicine, when you do rotational energy clearings, the energy medicine book always guides you to do, no matter how long you do it, if you clear counterclockwise over a body part for 1 minute, then you should at least go clockwise, at least half of that. So it's coming up, that's what I thought of when they came up, it must not exceed 40% of the stimulus period. And then online Gestalt community schools came up in Memphis, Tennessee, which have to do with orderliness, and the 7 Gestalt principles, the law of good Gestalt, basically. What eyes see do to the mind, though. It has nothing to do with the eyes. It has to do with how the mind interprets things, making things simple to understand through your vision. So figure, ground, similarity, proximity, common fate, continuity, closure, and symmetry all come up under the Gestalt principles. And of course, like I said, you can look them up for yourself, but there's some good information there. It was interesting. I had to go back to Wolfgang Kohler, the other person who researched this. So he initially was one of his students, Max's students, Max Wertheimer. So Max Wertheimer was the one who did the study in 1912. His students were Kafka and Kohler. So I looked up Kohler because I kept getting those 3 words, Wolfgang and Kohl, all came up this week in weird ways. And he had done some work with nervous tissue in that relationship to perception, as well as hearing, as opposed to the visual perception. So it's interesting how they came together, where Max was more of a visual perception, then Wolfgang had been researching the psychoacoustics and perception. And then what he was most famous for was doing problem-solving research with the chimps in 1914. The whole is different. His famous quote is, "The whole is different than the sum of its parts," really meant to be the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, right? Because the sum of the parts of a car, as he explains, aren't a car. That's not part of it at all. But the sum of it becomes a car, so then it becomes greater than the parts themselves. So what else came up above him? Oh, he was born in Russia, but he was German. And then he ended up living in America because he didn't agree with Hitler's policies. So he was a German, but he was living in Russia when he was born, and then went back to Germany, and then left and lived and died in the United States. He actually worked at a college very close to me in the Philadelphia area, which is very interesting. And then I ended up I got some new vitamins to experiment, and I was doing some muscle testing with that stuff this morning. And then I went back to the read at 12:01 this afternoon. So in need of help with someone who's not curious, or a child who never learns, ending pain, massage, Reiki, acupuncture, STARSEED free to leap, receive downloads, purge, feel overwhelmed, in dumping multiple loads or emotional attachments, the High Priestess, secret or intuition, the nurse or aide, cut to the chase, someone who gets right to the point, not necessarily the truth, but not BS either. The Queen of Cups, happy family or emotional cycle done. The Knight of Pentacles offers help to struggling business or third party through work. The King of Wands sees the High Priestess, commitment to the King of Swords reversed, not honest with himself, but passionate and busy, perhaps tripping up, going too fast, dropping the ball, rushing to look good, dropping the mask, the facade to break patterns, and destiny, high vibe, turn for the better at 12:28, which is the Hangman and the Two of Wands, or that choice of path or twin flame. The Knight of Wands is not aroused by the mission, being schooled by the Sphinx. The four-legged creature with one limp works better than the two-legged human without grounding and one limp. 3/4 is better than -1/2 to +1/2. 3 solid pyramid, but 1 is easily off balance. 3 studying like good little angels, but the goose flapping their wings, where Sphinx and Akashics come in, the 5th wheel, and get the 4th back in line, or in other words, back in order. Perhaps they can be understood. If you take out 1 of 4, but take out a good one too, like 2 out of 4, or 1/2, like changing both front tires instead of just the one that's messed up, not just for one, but for proper wear and balance. If 2 are not in balance and sharing, both get screwed, not just the one. And if 2 leave, the other 2 also get screwed because now they don't have 4 helping. That's confirmation for both those things. Now left to their own devices, kids on cell phones and computers. Then I was getting the thing referencing Wolfgang Kohler, Russian, German, American. So rushing, or going too fast, the Russian connection, skipping steps. German, the school of hard knocks, disciplinarian. And then American, afraid to blow the whistle, for they are not self-sufficient. Russian, German, American, Wolfgang Kohler. Or knocked for a loop by Russians and Germans, the change of identity of the Nazi and Russian spies who became Americans after the war in FBI and CIA intelligence agencies. Purebreds versus the mutts. 3/4 not good enough. It's not pure breed, religious and cultural differences, not up to snuff. The Knight of Wards, oh, that's interesting. That's definitely from the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So not up to snuff, the Knight of Wands is a go-getter, like a go-getter, but it's go-get-her. The Sphinx, disciplinarian and minx, and Americans, clowns, right? Like people might call Trump these days, a melting pot, more than the sum of its parts. Russians, Germans, Jews, Catholics, all guilty of this. Exclusions, disposing, and deposing may be coming up as well, but disposing of the weakest link in pairs. Unequal pairs fall apart, one by the wayside, but what was done with the partner that was still mostly of value or valuable. So again, just like the front tires, when you replace both of them because the one is messed up and you want them to both be balanced when you put the new ones on, what happens to the one good one? Like, who makes use of that? So it's saying unequal pairs fall apart, one by the wayside, but what was done with the partner that was still mostly of value or valuable, or in other words, usable. If partner of notoriety doesn't work, their reputation is seen as ruined, will never work in this town again. Assumed you are like your partner, 2 of the same kind, you are who you hang with. Like attracts like, but like only attracts like when they are centered. If polarized, opposites attract to correct the imbalance. The prisoner is out and seen in the betrayal. In pain or getting treatments, the Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help or not learning their lesson, with the Emperor in control. The Emperor keeping them down, the lowly student, the powerful controlling Emperor, or the child of the Emperor who can't possibly live up to their expectations, unnatural expectations, not present, off balance. The prisoner of the dark night, the graveyard, the gate wide open can swallow you up. You deserve love comes up for the Divine Masculine here, and beneath that was unrequited love. The Queen of Swords reversed, taking down the mirror, guilt by association. Justice, sweet fairy justice of, and 2 spoons of fruit and gossamer wings. Or the Queen of Swords reversed Libra is no longer obsessed with impatient fallen angel, or powerless Sagittarius with attitude, or drinks or makes potions, and energy vampiring. The green room, gang green, infection, green mucus, prison camps, envy, the MASH unit, and wolf, gang, kohler, and mint ice cream. Kohl, K-O-H-L, literally means the dark powder that you can use like eye makeup, with stibnite, powdered antimony, atomic number 51, the King of Swords. And it's S, capital S, lowercase b for short. Wolfgang Kohler equals wolf pack with dark circles around their eyes. And wolves all have dark circles around their eyes, and it really accentuates the beautiful color of the wolf's eyes. So in a wolf pack, you know, what do you see in the dark? You see the whites of their eyes, right? The blue of their eyes, the green of their eyes, whatever their eye color is. But they all have dark circles around their eyes. Accentuates the eyes, natural eyeliner. Panda bears too, right? They have black eyes. And then dark circles was coming up, and the cures for those things like that, and almond oil was coming up, as well as mint. Mint, it comes up for a lot of good things. It keeps the bugs away, and it helps you with dark circles. But anyway, for dark circles on your eyes, almond oil was coming up because it has skin lightening compounds like niacin and phytosterols. Egg whites to beat and brush on as they dry. It then tightens and stones in about It tightens and tones in about 10 or 15 minutes. Green and black teas, of course, because of the caffeine, but also the tannins that stimulate the blood circulation. Cucumber with ascorbic and apheic acid reduce the water retention and also have skin lightening properties. And then iron, of course, can give you dark circles if you're iron deficient, because it doesn't bring up the oxygen to your eyes. And vitamin E and K2, and raw potato also with antioxidants, vitamin C, enzymes, and starch helps bring the swelling down. And of course, plenty of water. Mint leaves with tomato and lemon also have bleaching properties, along with witch hazel and milk. So all of these things for the dark circles around your eyes came up. So somebody obviously isn't getting enough sleep, or not getting enough iron, or not getting enough water, whatever it is. At 134, which is the Magician and the Eight of Wands, lots of fast-paced communication or travel back and forth or expression of feelings. But it was reversed in this read, so perhaps debates or arguments, or not expressing feelings at all, or holding back desires. 2 here, and they can be kids or employees. 2 up to no good. We have the Knight of Wands reversed and the Page of Wands reversed, right? If you have any kids reversed, those are the 2 you don't want reversed, because they're going to get into physical trouble. 2 up to no good, caught making potions to get people to do what they want them to do. Peachy chiffons or mandarin shears, and big toe, big foot, or elevation of feet touching the ceiling, with feet on bunk bed perhaps. Peach and olive, or peaches and olives, or untrustworthy couple in matching greens and oranges, cutting and potion making, shears, flasks, white kisses and hooks, in the waiting room or plastic surgery office, schemes. And compassion comes up here beneath that spiritual partnership. Purples and plums, dumping, purging, crying, overwhelmed. The Queen of Swords reversed, or surgical tech, or war widow, left without love. The Empress reversed, sick, drained, or overexposed, or burned, or in need of sunshine. The Hermit reversed, crazed or crazy, or coming out with knowledge. And the Queen of Swords upright, shining her light, trapped in a fishbowl, without a way out. The King of Swords praying the dark birds will go away. The feet still chained, or ankle cuff, bound to a sun deity, worshipper, or foosball table. Addicted, or addicted to throwing stars, or shooting stars. The Emperor reversed, fool, or takes a fall, or sundowning in the fall without light. Aries reversed and the Empress reversed, over-isolating and needs sunlight, but the King and Queen of Swords are upright here and do well in the fall. Aries reversed, Taurus reversed, Virgo reversed, Leo reversed, and Capricorn upright, all here. On their knees praying, meditating, grieving, loss, regret, or the past, dumping emotional attachments to destiny of the Emperor upright, with private green or screening room where they can take advantage and have compassion. The beauty business, obsessing over surgical techniques while advertising young beauties with absolutely no flaws to begin with. No changes needed in the first place, enticing clients to come back and see them. Come back, y'all, you hear? Ignoring health-conscious suggestions or unsatisfied customers. They no longer care what they think. A need for compassion here, with the emperor taking advantage of student or intern, or treatments or services, or free work, or sexual favors at 154, which is the magician and the page of swords. In the recent past is the Nine of Swords, suffering in silence, purging, up nights, the Hierophant or Taurus, religion or establishment, or commitment, finding peace, with the Page of Cups, coming together, or socializing, with the Queen of Pentacles and Ten of Pentacles reversed, paying for dinner, perhaps. Defenselessness of the Page of Swords reversed, in negative self-talk, or just negative talk, of Scorpio reversed, or dark night, near death, or after death, in the never-ending story, post-war PTSD and looting, and dumping loads and dumping attachments. Taurus upright, Scorpio reversed here at 158, which is the magician and the Four of Swords, perhaps in the 5D. The Nine of Wands reversed, surrender. The Page of Wands reversed, and the Knight of Wands upright, running from implementation of plan, or an exit plan, a strategy, grounding and integrating an offer, boredom or love at 159, right? The last minute, the 11th hour of 1 of the magician and 59 of the Five of Swords, the post-war efforts here. Getting the Page of Wands reversed to do all the work, while the King of Wands upright is bored, grounding and integrating offers. Surrendering to plan of exit or giving 2 weeks notice or not. There's no choice in the matter, right? Once they leave, they leave. There's not much you can do about it. You can't keep interns or employees, or can't live up to the King of Wands upright or Emperor's expectations. The central energy is the Lover's reversed, a breakup, no love loss, or no affection, and surrendering to it. The King of Cups may be deceptive, with Cancer reversed and Taurus reversed, or new moon breakdown of the Empress reversed and Magician reversed, or insecure and manipulative without the tools, defenseless and clingy in sudden explosion, eruption, or epiphany, or a Scorpio. Or the King of Cups is a Cancer moon arising, or up before dawn, without a car, or Empress reversed needs rides and unable to fend for herself. Or the King of Cups is with dysfunctional family, business, or community, or loss, or has cancer, or breakup at the new moon, with broken Taurus reversed, or chaotic Empress reversed, out of control, or Cancer reversed in lack, illness, miscarriage, or Cancer reversed, Taurus reversed, Gemini reversed, or Virgo, defenseless 2, double Scorpio, upright and reversed, or 2 different Scorpios, 1 upright and 1 reversed. Fools free to leap away from the King of Cups Scorpio or Cancer, but stay, or Aries leaving perhaps with Cancer Taurus and or Gemini or Virgo, or Scorpio in chart, challenged by the Knight of Wands reversed, the fire sign player falling short of expectations, or never follows through with all their promises, or holding back their true desires. Finding peace at present or in the present moment, perhaps Aries or Sag or Taurus or Scorpio in their chart, clingy yet explosive, defenseless yet manipulative, healing and or forgiving to free self and loyal friend to leap, get over loss or regret, and the King of Swords reverse conflict. In disconnect, break of partnership, or soulmates at a distance and not face to face, imbalance, inequity, deliberations, and heated debates or not telling, perhaps choked, needed to swallow their pride and didn't, or not heeding the call or call to action in the wake-up call, jealous rage or caught in the act suddenly, impatient fallen angel or no longer patient, being strong, taming the beast, or pacified by nursemaid at least, uncomfortable energies, not seeing eye to eye, depressing the Knight of Swords rushing in with the messages of truth, the Six of Cups upright, the loving kids or loving soulmates or fond memories, the world complete or the sealed divine feminine, powerless or dependent, financial drain, child spending or showing off to neighbors, deceiving or spending at the new moon, or up before dawn, spending online at 2:21, which is 2 of the high priestess and 21 is the world. Perhaps someone graduated with honors, but are miserable and depressed. At 2:22, they may need a guidance counselor, perhaps. Now, crowning for the masculine is the 4 of Wands reversed, unstable house or home, visiting, moving, or ending a marriage, or the party's just over. Suffering in silence, not sleeping, or up purging, or headaches. The King of Pentacles reversed, losing money and status, or just plain greedy, or complete, or with world at large, or with naked female in the pool, or neighbors always there. Defenseless to negative communications, debates, arguments, of lying, cheating, and stealing, or escaping out the back door, praying they go away and stay away, knowing and keeping to themselves, of 2 minds, with their antenna up, their feelers out to sense what's up. No longer silenced about sudden jealousy or rage or third parties and uncomfortable energies of jealousy, envy around them. Unstable home, working to align, create, and organize, with narcissistic hierophant old man or old bodybuilder, with cap and beard in red robe, back to their corner of the ring, covering their bald spot and hairy parts of their body, frustrated and not aroused on the journey with good news. Perhaps attention and success, but at the same time depressed, losing hope, or arrogant in a breakup, or without a lover, perhaps bringing home good news, but there's no one there now to tell it to. The King of Cups' face is covered, while with his pet, not wanting to be seen with them, perhaps Taurus with Aquarius, moon or rising, with harsh mouth, or Taurus and Hierophant upright, or Taurus upright, and Emperor or Aries upright, flanking frustrated King of Cups upright, not really considering him one of the pack. So here's the wolf pack coming up again. Or all 3 are hiding their faces. Gemini reversed, Taurus upright, Aries upright, and Aquarius reversed, Scorpio upright, Sagittarius reversed, and Leo upright, all here. The Emperor turned away, looking at the 10 of Pentacles reversed, loss of the dream, recovering without an olive branch, for kids to be happy and complete, to be a part of the world or well-rounded, powerless to the big world and its deceptions. Soon, strength, chopping at the bit, through the ring of fire, happy with self, getting their wish of surrender, in conflict with the King of Swords reversed, getting over themselves, and the fire sign working hard for the Knight of Wands reversed, and 9 of Pentacles reversed, kids or employees, or player and spender. The Knight of Cups reversed, jealous and bored, and envious of their boredom, their time to ground and integrate. He sees himself as the Page of Wands reversed, removing the mask and dousing the flame. Devil upright, or just Capricorn, waving and rising above, Justice, divorce, Libra, hanging out and saving, grounding, holding on, being moderate. The Queen of Wands reversed is tired of being strong post-war and being present to nothingness. 243 is the High Priestess and the 3 of Cups. At 44, grounding and integrating and mastering of love, the Queen of Wands reversed is over it, the saving and being moderate and being strong. Tempted post-war by the devil's wave, oversleeping and or coming out and finding nothing there. Finances and career, separation, free yourself, and romantic feelings all came up for the Divine Masculine, but around him or how he is seen is the Star reverse with depression, loss of hope, or arrogance, and a need to heal and shine their light. The Queen of Cups is upright, focusing on her heart. Impatient fallen angel, or Sag being rushed with the truth by the messenger of truth. The Queen of Cups dumping multiple loads on them, or emotional attachments, and offering the Ace of Pentacles instead. Time, money, and effort, alone, payback, or a new life of perfect contentment. Wouldn't you rather have that than being rushed by the messenger of truth? Over the Knight of Swords there. Aquarius reversed, Sagittarius reversed here, and the block for the masculine being the 8 of Cups reversed, uncomfortable energies around them, and not walking away. Frustrated with Leo reversed, ego reversed, or crazy kids in need of sunshine, depressed, or Aquarius reversed and Page of Swords reversed, negative and spreading rumors. Financial discipline, environment comes up, and abundance. Refusing advances, the King of Wands, and affectionate man, holding back their feelings and desires, recovering without a hand, to completion, powerless to financial drains before dawn, and deceptions of Cancer reversed and Pisces upright, not telling or negative debates and arguments. The Hermit reversed, going nuts or coming out, breaking patterns, removing the mask and recovering from exile, destitution, injury, and or illness, or just left behind. No longer meditating at the beach. Six of Cups kids, twins, siblings are out of options, but to recover themselves with the Queen of Cups, no longer patient with carrying the load, the weight of the world, the burdens, the finding the light, destined to be found, seen, felt, and absorbed. Knowing without eyes, the Knight of Pentacles offering help or proposing to make it better, to heal their heart. Dumping emotional attachments and surrendering, the Page of Wands reversed is removing the mask, frustrated and depressed or arrogant, suffering in silence and breakup or no affection at all, challenged by the Knight of Wands reverse player, chomping at the bit, uncomfortable in those energies or unstable home, moving or ending with no communication, travel, and holding back the true feelings and desires, no longer to be silenced. The Queen of Cups no longer patient and climbing out of the dark herself, destined rock of Gibraltar. Altar. 3 trumpets and 1 mountain to climb. The world as we know it. The wheel turned round, or is it a disc? Dumping multiple loads or emotional attachments, getting real, not dreaming, suffering in silence and praying on knees, grieving and surrendering to breakup or lack of affection, and challenged by the player, or paralyzed in unstable home or visitation at 301, which is the Empress and the Magician. The Page of Swords reversed, Aries, Sag, or Leo, depressed in energies, unable to escape, with financial discipline, environment, and abundance at 301, the Empress and the Magician, arguing, negative debates, not telling their feelings or true desires, and not keeping quiet either. No day at the beach. The Queen of Cups is impatient, or the Queen of Cups and Sagittarius reversed are climbing out of the dark or basement, destined to be in the light. Okay, so I'm going to pull you some energy deck cards here. It is 5232. 52 is the Queen of Swords, 32 is the Journeyman. So what is our takeaway from this read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames today? What do we need to know for everybody watching? What do we need to know? What do we need to learn for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames? And let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all is concerned. And fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. What is our takeaway? Okay, we have the broken heart. Now remember, the heart needs to crack in order to expand. And here's that juice coming out of it. So make sure it doesn't get infected and get gangrene. Make sure you keep yourself healthy with the number 9, which is all about endings and completions and letting go of things that no longer serve you. We have a storm warning here, which is the number 10, which is the Wheel of Fortune, which was upright today. So this is a good thing. Okay? The broken heart is done as the storm comes in to mix things up a bit. And then what comes up is yin yang. Balance is here for the taking. 22 is the Fool. So here is the final clearing of the 9 cycle, because the 9 cycle is all about clearing what no longer serves. You can't go forward in a 9, not until you get to the 10, which is now coming in as a storm warning, in order to bring in balance again with the 22, an open heart and a leap of faith. So there you go. It's actually a really positive energy. And then there's rest and rejuvenation in the sun, or of the sun, with the Divine Masculine. The bottom of the deck is the Thinking Woman. 47 is the 7 of Cups, right? Dumping emotional attachments, things that no longer serve, even if it means that you're going off on your own. There's one butterfly and one woman here. And beneath her is the financial constraints. So this could be somebody going back to work in the masculine's life as well. Could be a child going out into the work world for the first time. So that's the underlying energy, and then these were the ones that came out. So it's very much getting to a very comfortable place for the Divine Masculine, which is really nice, okay? Getting past the worst of it to a nice yin-yang balanced place of rest and rejuvenation, and the sun, complete exposure, and energized. Okay, so it's just, I'm just going to bring up a couple things from the read I did for myself. This was on, yeah. So this was done yesterday. And my messages had to do with spirituality and manifestation. And Mounties might be coming up. But the, again, acing the walking away after death test, that it's up to the 9. The student aces the walking away after death test regarding spirituality and manifestation. The M key or the monkey or the Mount 9 to see the key race to walk away into that good night. The monkey or Mount 9 seek exciting, urgent surprise. And you notice the numbers that came up in the code line here were 9 and 18, which was my birthday yesterday, 9/18. And also the office hall and Isis were coming up. The empty 9, the hermit, the collective consciousness, the wise one, the student of the 9 and the 18 cups, and the after-death test of walking into that good night. And the male gypsy was coming up. So again, discernment was coming up here, and a kerosene bottle. And I was just getting David Carradine was coming up. So, you know, kung fu and walking the earth like Jesus did, that kind of energy is coming up here. Toggling up in September, the Hermit's month, the seeker or the student of 18 and the moon of the torch and Isis comes up. The after-death tests regarding spirituality and manifestation. So the other thing I wanted to come up from that read was really beautiful. Hold on one second. So exposure of the Knight of Wands and the Queen of Swords upright rumors and the never-ending story, implementing a plan to stay pure and keep to themselves for a happy family or happy ending. The gift of the present moment. The bridge of two minds at the new moon, crossing to the other side of the rainbow, somewhere over the rainbow where skies are blue. But when you are blinded, you can't see, or you can only feel. So what do blue skies feel like? When what you imagine is the sound of music. Looking out at the ocean, standing on a landmine, Kip in the English Patient, emotionally distant due to diffusing landmines, sets up a surprise or blinding her and ropes her up to the magic of the light and the works of art. Finding magic and love in the midst of war and bombs, diffusing minds wherever she goes. Depressed, negative self-talk, and in need of help, or the Page of Swords reversed and Page of Pentacles reversed, depressed, losing hope, arrogant, or issues at work, with the Empress reversed and the Magician reversed in lack and insecure, a mother insecure, perhaps working with children in need of some more tools, watching from above on how to get up there, the soulmate and very soon, and not changing, the King of Swords reversed and the Queen of Swords upright, without new passion, frustrated, unaroused, no longer to stay or be silenced. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble swallowing. Not pregnant, but maybe stuffed. Not seeing reflection, refusing to be silent. So, because of course, those are the opposite things. You're either the hermit and silent, reflecting, or you're not, right? So, pins and needles out of reach, not burning the past. And also, the Who came up from this Seeker's lyrics. And a year ahead, a month or so late, her sixth, this was from hersixthcycle.wordpress.com, 9 chalices and the hearth, a wish coming true, cozy, comfortable home where we can stay here and keep my job. The Page of Chalices and Ace of Keys came up with love springs anew, and it's armed with the key. So just a few little highlights there from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yes, I'm going to let it go there because we're already at an hour. All right, guys, make sure you drink your water, get your rest, get your joy, get your nature. And as always, rise and be love and have an amazing, amazing day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Rise and be love.